Welcome back to Norman. The John Marshall Bears and the Ardmore Tigers ready to go. And here you see it for John Marshall, Adam Liberty, Rashaad Singleton, J.R. Giddens, DeAngelo Brown, and Rodney Bennett. Ardmore started this way: Lionel Brown, Zelto Anderson, Rodney Fuller, Roy Roberts, and Jermaine Gresham.
For John Marshall and Coach John Martin, the Bears have to win the battle of the boards and control boards. And for Ardmore, make others beat him. And the other guys are going to have to step up to beat them.
Here we go. Ball is tapped and it goes out of bounds. And let's see. Looks like John Marshall is going to get the call.
Good, great advantage.
That's Giddens. Looking for the entry pass inside to Singleton. He puts it up off the glass and scores our game's first bucket. It's 2-zip.
You know, that's what makes Giddens so good. If he can feed inside and get some productivity there, then it turns him loose to do his thing outside.
Roberts to Brown. That's Brown pulling up 15-footer. Switch.
You have to like the little guard. Now, there was a just good transition of the basketball, but a quick release. He didn't hesitate a second.
Adam Liberty with the ball, headed to Wichita State on a Division I scholarship. Looking inside to the other D1 player. That's Giddens. Back out to Liberty. Swings it over to Singleton. This will be a three.
Words can do, so he has all of the tools necessary.
DeAngelo Brown throws the inbound pass to Giddens, who drives into the paint, shoots, and scores. This is the state 5A championship from Norman.
That 2-3 zone that John Marshall plays is extremely active. If you notice, they're always in the passing lane. They got a hand out.
Fuller misses. Brown with the rebound. Puts it up and makes it.
Now that was a great shot.
Traveling call.
Takes a lot of courage for a young man who hasn't played in the regular season to be able to come back and play in the state championship series.
Bears are running. Liberty. This will be three.
Adam Liberty headed to Wichita State, and again, that's a good outside shooter. Had his balance, squared his shoulders up, and I would imagine he will hit over 50% of those if he's not contested.
Anderson, nice inside pass to Gresham. Jermaine Gresham, the 6'6" freshman center.
Can you imagine that? Only a ninth grader. What a great career he has in front of him.
Liberty beats his man. Pulls up short. Brown. Got a foul on the floor.
And even after the whistle blew, did you see the great assist he almost had there by getting the ball underneath into Gresham?
That's the first foul of the game. We played almost 6 minutes. Three-point shooter. And you can change those stats very quickly as Ardmore finally gets its first three. Time that they've controlled the boards here in the first quarter. Singleton, finger roll. Twelve to 9. John Marshall leading Ardmore. Another offensive rebound by Gresham, and he's fouled as he goes back up. Foul is on DeAngelo Brown. Take a look at it here.
You know, when a freshman goes aggressively after the ball as he is doing, and I'm sure has done most of the year, it just points to the fact that he will be a great one, barring health problems, before he gets out of Ardmore High.
8 in the class of '06. Final minute of the first quarter. Marshall with a 2-point lead on the ball. Giddens beats the double team, pulls up and scores.
And there's that perfect.
Roberts and back to Brown, who puts up a running shot against the glass and misses the rim. Marshall has a 14-10 lead after one quarter. You're watching the 5A state championship game in Norman, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Norman, the John Marshall Huddle. Bears have a 4-point lead under head coach John Martin.
You know, we're talking about Ardmore and Ted Yance a few minutes ago and the number of years he was there. Well, Jason Turk was there 1 year. Now he's at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M Junior College. The difference is you look at John Martin, first-year coach at John Marshall High School. But the defensive rebound is where you get your transition game going.
Basket by Singleton. 16-10, John Marshall. A foul on the pass in, and there's Mark Wilson, who's also in his first year.
A little pressure at these two schools, I would think, Nick, because they come to the state tournament every year. While the first year of the head coach there, a lot weighing on your shoulders.
And Sutherland scores. It's a nice inside passing by Ardmore. 16-12. Roy Roberts guarding Liberty. That's the matchup we expected to see. Roberts is an excellent defender. Deonte James coming off the bench, the 6'3" senior. This is a lot. Foul inside. Foul is on number 55, Mike Sutherland. You see it?
Yeah, and Deonte James really getting good position offside. And if you're going to get some good offensive rebounds, you always need to be offside. At great position. 6'3" senior.
Nice touch, too.
And talking about Ted Yance, the veteran coach at Ardmore.
Is Rashaad Singleton. He has 9 points for the Bears. Inside pass Sutherland, who misses it. Giddens races to get the rebound and gets it into the hands of Liberty.
Nick, both teams really showing a lot of respect for one another and playing a little cautious that they're not overplaying one another for fear that either team could get a great run. They could go a 12, 14-point run at the snap of a finger. So I think that's why they're just really playing cautious.
There you go. There's your officials. Dwayne Doolittle, Eugene Jackson, Coach Schultz, who have to earn their way to the state finals just like the players.
And they, too, have been here several times. Good veteran officiating crew.
Giddens misses. Rebound by Brown. Look at that. Lionel Brown burned the Bears for 32 points when these two teams met a week ago.
And that's one for the highlight reel because he shot that around, not over, but shot it around J.R. Giddens.
Left-hander gives you a little bit different look, too. Liberty creates his own shot. Can't hit it. And Sutherland controls the rebound.
I think Ardmore really would like to run more with the ball, but what I said a second ago, Mick, you can't take too many chances against a team like John Marshall.
Brown with the rebound, reverse layup and scores. Well, when you're only 6 foot tall and going into the land of the Giants, you've got to be creative. And Lionel Brown with a brilliant move inside, and he pulls the Tigers to within 3.
He already has 9 in.
J.R. Giddens is a tremendous player. There you see Singleton. Singleton with the finger roll.
Yeah, and the assist came from Giddens. Now look at the elevation. I mean, he is up there so high.
And a rebound by Gresham. Anderson with the pass. He gets it to Roberts, and Roberts draws a foul and will go to the free throw line. Roberts is in there for defense, but occasionally he'll do some good offensive things, and by drawing the foul, he'll go to the line.
Well, you saw him go up there, and two John Marshall Bears came right at him. Now, a lot of times a kid will not have the presence to go ahead and make sure that the shot goes up.
If you don't, he's gone. Roberts misses them both. Scramble for the rebound. And John Marshall gets it.
Well, that's just a great move in there by Deonte James that time. He called timeout while he was going. I thought he called the timeout, but evidently he didn't get it in.
DeAngelo Brown bringing it down now. They've moved Liberty inside. Singleton loses the grip. Brown with a great one-handed pass down to Roberts, who lays it in.
And that's why Lionel Brown is so important to this basketball team. That was a great pass.
And now the foul is called on Rodney Fuller. There you see field goal shooting here in the second quarter. Ardmore's picked it up a bit. Liberty shows ball twice, then drives to his right. Got it back. Giddens is not on the floor right now. There you see the great tap in by Rodney Bennett.
That's a great tip in. Hanging around the basket, and when you're 6'7", you can get those easy ones.
Oh, intercepted by Liberty. Keeps it all the way. Misses. Tries to get his own rebound. They call a jump ball as the players momentarily had possession. The Ardmore crowd didn't like that part of the call because ultimately they wound up with it.
They didn't like that at all, and here you see the great transition and the shot up there. You can make your own decision on something like that. I'd rather see a jump ball called quick than late.
Inbounds pass to Deonte James, who puts it up with the left hand and scores.
And the reason I said that, sometimes, they get on the floor and they fight and they wrestle for about 10 seconds.
Lionel Brown is heating up.
Pretty good state tournament. He's had 22 in the first game as they beat Oklahoma City McGinnis, 20 against McAllister, who came in ranked number 1 in 5A.
And 13 here in the first half. Liberty is fouled.
The thing I like about Lionel Brown, Nick, is you don't notice him getting that many points. I mean, he distributes the ball. He plays good defense. He rebounds on both ends for a guard as good as you could expect, and he just doesn't jump right out at you.
Liberty hits the free throw.
It's a good picture of just a real good 6'2" high school guard. He'll have a good career at Wichita State.
Really nice form as well. He's got 5 points here in the first half.
Well, you can imagine playing in the shadow of J.R. Giddens.
Shot is blocked. Couldn't get it over Deonte James' reach. Singleton into James. Used an elbow to turn the corner, and the ref caught him. This is Liberty. And he's got 7 points. 20 seconds to play in the first half. See what Lionel Brown and the Tigers want to do. Bears in that 2-3 zone.
Well, they'll certainly try to get the ball back he gave it up, but I'm sure they're going to try to get it back to Brown.
Inside to Anderson, who loses it. 1 second left and a whistle. So it's going to be Ardmore's ball with 0.3 seconds left.
Well, that's just about time for a tip. When it hits your hands, you've got to release it.
Anderson will throw in the pass. It'll count. Let's take a look at how these teams got here in state championship week. Of course, it all started Thursday night. Ardmore beat Bishop McGinnis, and then there you see last night beat McAllister 70-59. So Ardmore advanced into the finals. John Marshall disposed of Central on Thursday and then beat Southeast yesterday 73-70. Southeast was undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state. And now here we are, Ardmore taking on John Marshall. And I don't know how many times it's happened, but Ardmore and John Marshall, seems like at least one of those two is in the finals almost every year.
Well, when you come to the state tournament as often as both of those teams do, you're going to make it to the finals. And I tell you what, even though a 7-point lead here by Marshall, we're going to find a lot of action back in the second half.
And welcome back to Norman. The John Marshall Bears 27, the Ardmore Tigers 20 here at halftime. Mick Cornett and J.V. Haney courtside. Let's go over to Brendan Manzer.
Hey guys, I'm here with Coach Mark Wilson, Ardmore Tigers. Coach, down 7 at half. What'd you tell your ball club at halftime?
Well, we just said we need to have a little bit better movement on the offensive end. We're 1 for 11 from the three-point line, and they're contesting most of those and kind of altering some shots. So we've got to get better ball movement and get some better looks at it.
Brown has a good first half, and I know you want other guys to step up. Did you address that any at halftime?
Yeah, we've got to get everybody involved and got to get some people. I mean, just got to make some shots. You know, if we do that, we'll be all right.
Good luck, Coach. Second half. Back to you guys.
Veteran coach Mark Wilson spent 2 years at Okmulgee, 21 years at Western Heights. This is the first year he's guided a team into the state tournament, and here he is in the finals.
Well, that's not unaccustomed when you go to John Marshall High School or to Ardmore High School. You're going to be in the state tournament.
Ardmore has done really well. Let's take a look at the highlights of the first half. John Marshall led throughout the first half, but Ardmore had Lionel Brown, and he's the game's leading scorer. There you see inside Jermaine Gresham. Nice pass inside there to Sutherland. Great pass there from Brown. Down floor to Roy Roberts. And then for Marshall inside, it's Rashaad Singleton scoring off the glass. Singleton again. Look at that finger roll, JV.
And that's a nice runner. That's a hard shot to hit going in.
Deonte James. Singleton, the leading scorer for John Marshall. Brown, the leading scorer for Ardmore. Here we go. The third quarter has started. Ardmore down by 7. They'll start with the ball first.
And you can see the defense is not going to be changed. There's still that very active 2-3 zone by the Bears.
Roberts running the offense outside. Now Fuller puts one up. Won't go. Offensive rebound. Stripped by Bennett. And the Bears come up with it.
And that's a big defensive play by Rodney Bennett. When you're leading by 7 at the half, you don't want the other team to come out and score first.
Giddens back in the game here. Had 2 fouls and had to leave early in the second quarter. Giddens wants to shoot, does. Won't go. Uncontested rebound and put back by DeAngelo Brown, and the lead is extended to 9.
I think that was a little bit out of his range by J.R. Giddens, but what happens, everybody stands and looks when that occurs, and, Brown was able to pick up in there and get him an easy one.
Brown trying to get a shot off. Tries the right side, now the left, and gives it up to Roy Roberts. Brown. He's got a sweet-looking shot, doesn't he?
He just has great touch on the ball, and it looks like sometimes he may be off balance, but in reality, he's not.
Full court pressure now by the Tigers.
And I thought this was going to be coming. I think it will pick up as the game progresses here in the second half.
Giddens puts it in off the glass.
So tough in there when Giddens gets the ball with his back to the basket. He's got such great elevation on his shot that he can just shoot that turnaround jumper. Awful difficult to stop.
Lionel Brown, the game's leading scorer with 15. Good inside pass, and foul is drawn. Gresham's going to go to the free throw line. There you see Jermaine Gresham. Here's a look at Adam Liberty.
Now, it's just very difficult for you to take the ball inside and get the first shot off, and there you saw Anderson trying to do it. He couldn't do it, so he's going to flip it across to one of his teammates, and it's just difficult to get it in there on that first pass inside.
You had a freshman center being fouled by a senior point guard.
You could kind of see the concern on Coach Mark Wilson's face there, the Ardmore head coach. And it's an 8-point game.
Singleton a run in the show. Missing off the glass. And we got a foul. It looked like Bennett went over the back trying to get that offensive rebound.
And guess who was in there with that good box out causing it? Lionel Brown. Now take a look here at the positioning that Brown had. And getting the big fella, Bennett, right up over his back. You turn and put a body on a box out, you'll get a lot of those fouls, especially if you're smaller.
Brown puts it up. Hadn't missed very often today. Liberty will jog it down the floor. Wide open three.
Not a bad offensive play if you get your defender off balance and where he goes scooting on the seat of his pants, get lined up and knock the three down.
Liberty is now the Bears' leading scorer. He has 10 points. And they'll get it back. Marshall with an 11-point lead. That's the largest difference of the game. Tigers want to go to that full court pressure.
Well, you look at the time, you've got almost 5 minutes remaining in the third period, and you have to pick up the tempo, and if you're behind, you're going to have to be the one responsible. Now you have to start gambling a little.
Irvin McGee, one of the Tigers' best defensive players off the bench, has entered the game and is guarding Liberty. There you see the shooting here in the third quarter. Foul is called on Anderson.
When that occurs, then you're going to have a deep bench and have a little luck in the process.
It looks like you're trying to get Giddens in some isolation situations. And now you see why. Gee whiz, JR.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. You have to come out and be more aggressive. When you do, they may make you pay. And look at J.R. Giddens here. He goes up, hesitates, flies by. Well, I'll go ahead and shoot it off the glass, and I'm sure he called it.
Yeah, a lot of backspin on that shot. It was a line drive, like a Phil Mickelson wedge. When it hit the backboard, it went straight down.
But you know, good players can make that type of a shot. And you know, as many hours as he spent on the court and playing one-on-one and 2-on-2, 3-on-3, that he has done things like that. So it wasn't just like a pure, just throw up a Hail Mary type shot.
Sporting event like no one else. Bears by 13. Foul inside as Ardmore tries to pound it inside. Let's take a look here.
Well, he's doing his very best. You're looking at Anderson there trying to get the shot off and wasn't quite able to do it through the foul as a result. But trying to pound it inside against Marshall is not very easy.
Anderson's guarding Giddens quite a bit, too. Midway through the third quarter. It was a 7-point game at half. And John Marshall has extended the lead to 13 here. Giddens went about 11 feet in the air to grab the rebound on the missed free throw. That's a standing jump, my friends.
Can you say he can't elevate himself?
And there he goes on the offensive end, missing, getting his own rebound, missing again. J.R. Giddens, if you don't know, headed to the University of Kansas, prized recruit. Run it away. Not sure who got it.
I believe that was swatted out there by Liberty.
Foul inside. Deonte James will go to the line. Let's take a look at the block here.
We'll get a good look out of it.
Yep, it was. Your point guard, Adam Liberty, coming up to swat it away. He averages over 8 assists a game. And look at him play defense.
Oh, and he got up there. He kind of hesitated and waited for the ball to come.
A lot of blocks come from that secondary defender because the offensive player is just trying to get the shot over the guy that's guarding him. and he's not trying to time his shot against a second defensive player, and that's what happened that time.
And what happens also there, when you get that shot over the primary defensive player, it's a little higher, which gives that guy an opportunity to come across and make a good block.
14-point lead. Singleton scores. And Ardmore's starting to see it swing their way.
So they need to capitalize on every turnover that they get.
Inside pass to Sutherland. He missed it. James got the rebound. Singleton to Giddens. Offensive foul.
DeAngelo Brown, only 6 foot in there, and just kind of used his body. You'll see him, he'll just stick it out right there. He's backing into him and using the lower part of his body to puts it up, but had a little traveling violation before he was able to shoot it.
Baseball championships last year from Oral Roberts. Grand time. Always fun to see the spring sports get their day in the sun.
It really is, and you know, high school baseball and high school soccer we've always had great high school baseball in Oklahoma, but high school soccer has come along, and people are surprised the number of scholarships that go to Oklahoma kids.
You're absolutely right. Let's go third quarter. Ardmore down 12. Brown cuts the lead to 9. One to Brown. He's got 18 points.
That's about a 23-foot three-pointer that he put up then.
Singleton inside to Giddens, but we're going the other way. Another offensive foul.
You know, in the first half, John Marshall wasn't doing that. They were taking the penetration and then stopping it, shooting 10 to 12, 14-foot jumper instead of going all the way in. But good movement defensively, backing it up inside and forcing the offensive foul.
Marshall has 5 team fouls. Ardmore just 2. Individually, just one player on the floor has 3 fouls. That would be Zilto Anderson, number 21 of the Tigers. Brown. Almost. Liberty raced and got the rebound and delivered it to Giddens. Now Liberty will try to beat the full court pressure down the floor. Great defense by Irvin McGee. He's a defensive specialist trying to guard Liberty. The textbook defense, JV.
He's down there. He's only 5'8". He's a senior. He's played a lot of basketball and had a lot of hours in practice.
Trying to double team. Trying to keep the Bears from eating clock. Great pass inside. And a bucket by Rodney Bennett.
The Bears stay in that 2-3 zone, and that is a good 2-3 zone. I can understand why Coach Martin went to that. You know, when you have the speed and the quickness and the size, you can spread that zone out and make it tough.
Lionel Brown knocked it out of bounds. That's the end of the third quarter. John Marshall has an 11-point lead. It's 39-28. You're watching the 5A state championship game from Norman.
Hey guys, I just listened to Mark Wilson of Ardmore talk to his ball coach. Say, hey, we're not out of it. We have to do it defensively, create some turnovers, some early opportunities. Also, they made some adjustments to get John Marshall's zone, and we'll see how they come out here in the fourth quarter. Back to you.
39-28, 8 minutes to go. These two teams played a week ago. Ardmore won it by 10. Today, John Marshall's turning the tables. Here's 3 quarters. There you see the shooting in the third quarter. Brown is providing most of the offense for Ardmore, but this time it's swatted away, and a foul is called on Rodney Bennett.
We'll get a closer look at it right here. As you can see, Lionel Brown penetrate in, goes up above. You get in there like that, you're almost going to get a foul every time.
And it wasn't Bennett, it was Giddens, and that is Giddens' third foul.
And that was the reaction you heard from the Marshall fans.
Both Giddens and Bennett are playing with 3 fouls and are on the floor. For Ardmore, Anderson has 3 fouls. Free throw good, 39-30. Marshall has the lead and the ball. Turnover. And they get it to the hands of Lionel Brown.
And that's exactly what Ardmore has to do. They've got to go that full court pressure. They've got to gamble. They've got to get some turnovers and hit that 3 when they get it.
Marshall wanting to run. And look at Liberty. Nice finish. And a steal by Liberty. Gets the rebound. This is Adam Liberty. Missing again, but a good putback by DeAngelo Brown.
I would say that the John Marshall Bears would be just as good in running as they are in playing kind of a walk-up type game.
Ardmore having trouble getting any scoring other than from Lionel Brown. He's got 20 of their 30 points. Ardmore will keep it.
Great talent overall by the John Marshall Bears. Just they got the good inside game, the good outside game, the quickness. And, of course, with a guy like J.R. Giddens, Mick, he'll score any place on the floor.
Can and does. Quick shot and a 3-pointer. Rodney Fuller. It's a 10-point game. They let Giddens have it out front. Almost stolen away by Fuller.
Well, it looks like John Marshall might be wanting to take a few seconds off the clock on the possession.
Ardmore plays really good defense here, one-on-one. There you see Roy Roberts guarding Liberty, and he gives it up to Giddens. Being guarded by Fuller. Slapped away. And we got a jump ball situation. Or rather a tie ball. And it'll be Giddens and Roberts. Marshall's committed 16 fouls. Ardmore has just committed 2. Start to look down the line, you think Ardmore's not going to be able to foul them and put them on the line because they're a long way from the bonus.
There you get a good look at Mark Wilson, the head coach of the Ardmore Tigers, giving some instructions to his kids. And, you know, he's still positive about it and wants them to get out there and get the traps, knock the baskets down on every possession that they're able to steal. And I was kind of surprised there that John Martin went to kind of a spread offense, kind of a delay game, not necessarily totally delay, but slowing it down, looking for a good one-on-one chance to score. Kind of surprised me.
Let's check in with Brendan.
Hey, guys, I just listened in on John Marshall's huddle during that timeout. Coach Barton told his players, hey, we have to handle pressure here down the stretch. We're in control of the game. We have the lead. Big people, don't leave our guards up top by themselves when those guys come to double team. And then he said, hey, carry this thing out. Let's get a victory. Back to you.
Giddens almost throws it away to Liberty. Marshall struggling to handle the pressure, but handling it. Liberty drives in, gets it blocked. Bodies all over the place. Here come the Tigers. Roberts going baseline. Gives it up, and a bucket from Jermaine Gresham. 8-point game as the freshman scores off the glass.
And what a clutch basket that was for a young freshman to go to.
That's going to be a foul on number 25, Roy Roberts. Trying to cut him off and ended up tackling him. Irvin McGee, another defender, comes into the game. He's going to guard Liberty.
Well, there's a lot of speed and a lot of quickness in there now for the Tigers, so they're doing exactly what they have to do. Put the pressure on, try to get the steal.
Anderson is guarding Giddens. Another key matchup. They set a pick to get Liberty the ball, and they get it into him. Defense by McGee, and they call a foul.
We'll get a good look at it here, and you can see how much under control Adam Liberty is with the between the legs dribble. Gets a little bump in there. Ardmore fans can't understand it.
A lot of pushing and shoving, players measuring themselves, sticking out the elbow. Nothing vicious, but just a lot of hard defense out there right now. Double team on Liberty, and Ardmore's got it.
But that was a very good call by the official there. You know, at this point, you don't want to let something get out of hand.
Anderson loses control. Singleton grabs it. Singleton can handle the ball as well. And a timeout is called by John Marshall. Nearing the midway mark here in the fourth quarter, and John Marshall has an 8-point lead. Really a guard matched up with a center.
But that's, you know, that's the great thing about John Marshall is the fact that every one of their players have the ability to dribble the basketball. They're able to move it. They all have guard skills.
Brendan Manzer.
Hey, guys, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about those keys we talked about in the game. One of the big keys for Ardmore was to limit Giddens and Liberty. And they did that early in the game, but those guys have heated up a little bit as they've combined for 20 thus far. On the other side of the ball, John Marshall did not want to let Ardmore get off to a good start, which they did both times. John Marshall starting off with a 7-2 lead, and then a little 9-3 start to begin the second half. So, obviously, John Marshall has the advantage at this point.
Indeed, Marshall has committed 16 fouls. Ardmore has committed 4. Starting lineup for John Marshall on the floor. And Ardmore is shaking it up a little bit. Dawond Swindall is on the floor. He did not start, but he's the player that was injured last summer and did not play in any of the regular season games, and he's just working himself back into shape. And he's the leading returning scorer on this Ardmore team from a squad that went to the state finals a year ago. Singleton shakes free. Marshall trying to eat up some clock. Liberty. And Deonte James turns it over. Boy, some great defense by Ardmore. Look at Jermaine Gresham.
I mean, he just really getting after it. Gresham was, and eventually forcing the turnover there on number 40, James.
Lionel Brown, that's the score. He's got the ball. He's got 20 points in the ball game.
Ardmore doesn't have time to waste too many seconds. They've got to get the shot, and they've got to get him down.
Brown looking for an opening. In and out, offensive board, and up front by the Tigers. It's Jermaine Gresham.
Now it's down to a 2-possession game.
James turns down the shot. 6-point game. Singleton. Inside. And a bucket by DeAngelo Brown.
And a great assist by J.R. Giddens to see Brown underneath alone and get the basketball to him.
Irvin McGee. Looking to get the ball to Brown. Shot goes up though by Swindall, and he scores. 5-point game. Tiger fans are on their feet.
This is a great individual one-on-one man pressure by the Ardmore Tigers.
Brown guarding Singleton, and now it's Giddens. Anderson guarding him. Liberty. And a foul out front.
A player that has not had a good percentage throughout the season. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Liberty pulls up, misses, and Ardmore's got the ball. Down 5. Here's Brown. Gives it up to number 32, Swindall. Brown wants to shoot and almost did. Now the shot's taken, in and out. Ball's on the floor and controlled by Singleton.
That's great hustling there by little Rodney Fuller, the little guard. He was doing his best to get it out of Singleton's hand.
There's a white jersey everywhere Singleton looks. Bears have a 5-point lead and the ball. Knocked out of bounds. The Bears will retain possession. A timeout is called by Ardmore coach Mark Wilson.
Same time, you know that Coach Mark Wilson from Ardmore is really going to be encouraging his kids to reach back and get just a little more energy and try to really get those traps going.
They know they've got to create turnovers. If not, they've got to put John Marshall on the line. Back to you.
Individually, no player on the floor has 4 fouls. Few players with 3. And a quick foul by Ardmore. There you see the fourth quarter shooting. Pretty close. So that'll put both teams with 16 fouls and allow both teams to be in the bonus from here on out.
And as always, the free throws play such a crucial part in the final minute and a half, 2 minutes of the game.
Giddens draws Zelto Anderson outside.
You know, it's at this point you got to figure out who do you want to foul. And that comes from your scouting report. Most of the time, though, the guys who shoot the ball best are the ones who handle the ball.
Foul by Zelto Anderson.
Well, there's where you see if your gamble pays off. If he misses the front end of the 1-and-1, why, that gives you a possession maybe to close it to a 1-possession game. But if he hits it, both of them, why, you're back down more than 2 possessions again.
He hit them both. J.R. Giddens, 2 clutch free throws, and Marshall leads by 7. And a 3. Rodney Fuller. It's a 4-point game. They double team Giddens, and we're going to send him to the free throw line again. See if he can hit both ends of a 1-and-1 again.
You know, there's always hope in a game, regardless of the number of seconds. If you can keep it within 2 possessions with a 3-point shot, that means 6 points or less. And you can just watch it on television in the college ranks and in the high school, it's the same place. How many games are won in the last few seconds because of a steal, because of the 3-point shot. Gosh, it makes every game exciting to the end.
Giddens hits them both. He's got 12 points, tied for the team high with Liberty. Ardmore down by 6, 40 seconds to play.
A quick 3 and a steal, and you're right back.
Well, there you go.
There's the 3.
There's your 3 from Rodney Fuller, and it's a 3-point game with 32 seconds to play.
Here we get a good look and the square up move. That's the first one. That's a nice shot on the outside there by the Ardmore. Here comes the second one right in there, and we have a 3-point game.
Rodney Fuller. He's got 9 points all on 3 for head coach Mark Wilson.
And he's telling them the same thing in their mix.
Let's go over to Brendan Manzer.
Hey guys, just listen to Coach Wilson again, and he wants his team to face guard Giddens. Don't let him catch on this inbounds play here. Let someone else catch and put someone else on the line, make him step up.
Well, Ardmore is getting scoring from players other than Lionel Brown at this point. There you see the fourth quarter three-point shooting. That's how Ardmore's got back in the game. Giddens got it. Now it's Singleton. And Brown sends him to the line with 27 seconds to play. So Rashaad Singleton, a 6'2 senior guard, will head to the charity stripe.
Well, the reason John Marshall hasn't scored in the fourth quarter from the field is I don't remember them actually taking maybe but one shot. Well, I don't think they've taken one shot. Everything has been from the free throw line because they've been in that kind of a semi-delay, time-killing mode of offense.
Singleton will shoot 1 and 1.
A big basket, that puts it back to a two-possession game.
One of 3 Bears in double figures. Singleton now has 10, trying to make it 11. Missed it. 4-point game, 25 seconds to go. Turnover. And Giddens is fouled. Long pass, almost a football-type situation. Take a look at it here, JV.
That's a very quick pass in there by Lionel Brown. And he intended the pass to come into Rodney Fuller, but he never could gain complete control of it. Consequently, that leads to an intentional foul that has to be committed by Ardmore against Marshall. Not the one that gives you the shot and the possession on the side, but there's J.R. Giddens, 12 points, 4 out of 4 from the line. 2 big ones right here for him.
Marshall leads by 4 with 17 seconds to go. And Giddens misses both of them. Here comes Ardmore. Brown for 3. Missed it. Tigers get the rebound. Brown again's got it. An old shot thrown up and missed. Giddens with the rebound. And that's going to do it. The John Marshall Bears are the 2003 state champions.
Both sides of the picture down here. You see the happiness and you see the sorrow.
24 wins this season for the John Marshall Bears. Getting a little revenge off a 10-point loss to Ardmore just a week ago in the area finals. Ardmore Tigers wind up 20-8. Lost in the finals last year to Booker T. Washington. Lose in the finals this year to John Marshall.
At this time, Danny Reynolds of the OSSAA will make the presentation to the runner-up Ardmore Tigers. Assisting Danny with the presentation will be State Farm Representative Dennis Chamont, Principal Shirley Morgan, and Athletic Director Sean Hine. If the players will come forward when your name is called, we'll present you with your individual awards. Bruce Booker. Lionel Brown. Clarence Simpson. McGee. Wendell Prince. Roy Roberts. Adrian Robertson. Dawond Swindall. Jonathan Oliver. Nate Mead. Virgil Harmon. Jermaine Gresham. Mike Sutherland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to recognize Coach Mark Wilson with the Coach's Achievement Plaque. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the silver ball to the 5A runner-up, Ardmore Tigers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, recognizing our 5A 2003 state champion, John Marshall Bear. Of the OSSAA with the presentations are State Farm Representative Trey Wells, John Marshall Principal Shelley McAdoo, and Athletic Director Mike Maple. If the individual players will step forward and receive your awards as your name is called. Brandon Durham. Nate Cotton. Rashaad Dillard. Deonte James. Tyrone Pete. Kyle Luco. Daniel Harris. DeAngelo Brown. Rodney Bennett. Adam Liberty. Rashaad Singleton. J.R. Giddens. And now to Coach John Martin, your Coach's Achievement Plaque, and also a Wilson autographed basketball for your trophy case. State Championship Coach John Martin. Gentlemen, presentation of the gold ball to the state champion, John Marshall Bears, Class 5A state champion for 2003.
Years ago, they were wondering who shot JR. Tonight, it was JR doing the shooting. Those free throws down the stretch proved to be the difference. Ardmore never did quite catch up. Let's go over to Brendan Manzer. Brendan?
I love working with these kids. They all play hard. You saw those guys give 100% effort. I didn't sub Adam Liberty out this whole weekend, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. JR had to sit 2.5 minutes the entire weekend. It's guys like that that have so much heart. Makes it easier to coach. Plus, they obviously came here to play this weekend too.
Well, and I know you know this. It's a total team effort, and really you got to give Ardmore credit. They contained Liberty and Giddens pretty well there, but you had other guys step up today.
Yeah, we did. Rashaad Singleton had a big night. Singleton, we expected JR and Adam to always play well, no matter where we play or who we play, what time of the day it is, whether we have fans or not. But it takes other senior kids, senior leaders also to step up and do some things. Deonte James had a great night tonight, too. Rebounded the ball, played defense, communicated, did a lot of good things, a lot of the tiny things, little things.
J.R. Giddens here in a second, guys. We're going to talk to him about what an outstanding job he did. Here he is. Hey, J.R., first of all, congratulations on the state championship. Thank you. And you have to feel outstanding right now.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, I've never really been in, so I've never made it to state tournament then. I guess they say the first time the charm, and we're here, we won state. You know, it's just a great team attending for John Marshall.
Well, talk about your game today. Ardmore did a pretty good job of limiting you on the offensive end. Only 12 points, but you did it in so many other areas.
Well, you know, every day is not your night out, and this is a team thing, and we all won, so, hey, 12 points was, how many did we score as a team? So I guess that's what really matters right there, and so I'm happy to win.
That's exactly right. Talk about your teammates. Several guys stepped up. Singleton came out hot in the first half. Talk about your teammates, and that it was a total team effort.
Well, you know, Rashaad Singleton, like you said, he came out early, established a good, you know, good offensive balance for us, and the Adam going to the hole, and DeAngelo Brown, and Rodney Bennett, Deonte James, and, you know, just everybody. You know, we win all out, play team ball. When you play team ball, you're going to win state championship like we did today.
Well, JR, congratulations to you today. Good luck at University of Kansas next year. We're going to be seeing a lot more of JR Giddens on television at the next level. Back to you guys.
John Marshall beats Ardmore 50-46. J.R. Giddens with 12 points. Adam Liberty had 12 points. The Bears get their 5th state championship in the last 25 years. Their first since the year 2000. Welcome back to Norman. We're wrapping up the 5A Boys Championship. John Marshall beat Ardmore 50-46. There you see the scoring leaders. Lionel Brown of Ardmore had 20, wrapping up a great senior season for Brown. Fuller had 9, Gresham had 8. For John Marshall, very balanced scoring. Giddens had 12, Liberty had 12, and Singleton had 10. We want to thank the Oklahoma Secondary School Activity Association for all they do, so much more than just conducting athletic championships. And JV, I know you'll join me in congratulating them on their commitment to sportsmanship. Here's more from the OSSAA and Danny Reynolds.